Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you so much for your patience. Oh my gosh. YouTube has really got on my nerves. I need to clean my lens. Hang on. It's a little blurry. Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't know what YouTube did. Oh my gosh. It's like this whole you have to confirm that your video is made for children, then you got to do something else. I'm like, this video is about Hawaii, so I guess the YouTube is doing its best to make sure I'm on island time. So greetings to everybody that is here. Thank you so much for standing by and waiting for me. Because yes, I was really trying my hardest to figure this out. So let me know if you can hear me because I'm not able to use my laptop the way I usually do when when I go live. So now I'm using my phone. I have my whole mobile phone rig and microphone set up, but my light is offset, but it's okay. So we have Joe here. I know that your folks was in here a minute ago, so thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm trying to find out my notes because I've been wanting to do this video for a while. However, I just got the encouragement to do it the other day. I was training with the instructor I had. He's from Oahu, the islands, and so it was something about being with him and training with him. It reminded me of this video that I wanted to do. And let me know if the background music is too loud because I know this microphone picks up everything. And getting back on topic, one thing I noticed was in this, I don't know, in this country, I had took another like online training a couple of months ago, and it said the United States is no longer a melting pot. That I think it was described as like a chef salad or a garden salad, where it's this bowl with many different ingredients in it. So I'm like, okay, we're not melting, but everybody is being uniquely them. And I noticed a problem. It seems as though every time, I don't want to say every time, but the majority of the time when I'm unapologetically me, a black woman from here in America, that tends to make others uncomfortable. And I'm like, why is that? Because, having cultural awareness and having pride within my culture shouldn't make anybody else nervous. It shouldn't make anybody else, shiver in their pants or nothing. But I relate that and connected that to when I lived in Oahu. And I lived there for 3 years. I was there from 2014 until the end of 2017. And there was certain things I picked up from the Hawaiian people that forever changed my life and changed my life for the better. So again, greetings everyone that's in here. Thank you for being with me on island time. I know I said I'd be here at 4, but it's now like 4:30ish. So I'm going to start off about when I first got to Hawaii. Now, before I traveled to the island, all I knew was what I saw on TV from when I would watch shows like The Brady Bunch or Sister Sister, and it seems like or island type shows like Martin when they went to the one island and they was fighting the little thing. But everything that we heard about the Hawaiian Islands came from TV. So, of course, the one thing about the hula dance and going to luau's and, the roasted pig, the whole pig, that's the stuff that we know about. But once I got there, it showed me how this people, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory form because I hate when someone says you people, but the Hawaiian people, they went through some stuff on that island at the hands of pirates and European colonizers. They went through some shit. However, unlike us here, us Africans who are in America as a result of human trafficking, slavery, they managed to hold on to some culture that they had that still remained. When us, it was beaten out of us. Our culture was beaten out of us. We were forced to adapt a European way of life, lose our names, our language, things like that. And slowly, those of us who have a connection with those on the continent, and also those who are on our Sankofa, to go back and research who we were and who we are and embrace that and have our culture, You know, we're still the minority battling against, those who are still suffering the ramifications of slavery here in America. But starting out, this instructor that I had, I was in his class last year, so he starts off our class with a traditional Hawaiian greeting, and he shows a video of a traditional Polynesian dance. So it was some gentlemen at the mall, and they stopped and did a Polynesian flash dance. And you said, finally caught a life. Hi, TJ. Got my first gun. Enjoyed the gun club because of you. Yes. Where are you located? Because you know me, I travel everywhere. So wherever I'm at, if I find you, we're going to head to the range. That's what's up, and congratulations. So yeah, one thing I noticed about Hawaiian culture is that in Oahu, that's the island that I lived on. First off, I noticed how the women would, identify themselves by wearing a flower in their hair. And I thought that was really unique. So you would see these flowers grow just anywhere, and you just get one, you put it in your hair, you'll wear a lei. And in turn, what that caused me to do as a African American woman, in Hawaii felt like another country, but it's still the US, But I felt like I was just in an untouched time. So one thing I took pride in, and I take pride in, is wearing cowrie shells. And there is a history with our culture and having cowrie shells. So as a Black woman growing up in the school system, and I'll touch on that in a second, we as Black people, we take on and we learn about every other culture and be void of our own. I recall being in the 7th grade, and there was a lot of stuff coming out about the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust, where in school we had to do a book report and read the book Night by Elie Wiesel. I remember watching Seventh Heaven, and it was something about Holocaust survivors and things like that. But when it comes to February, we have, that's traditionally known as Black History Month, but it's so diluted. Like, I have a book over here, and maybe I'll review that book at another time. The author called February Black Halloween, because that's when people who don't give a crap about being Black 11 months out of the year all of a sudden get to dress up and play Black for 28 days, maybe 29 if it falls on a leap year. But the month of February, you don't really get to learn anything about being Black, because one, I believe like the Super Bowl is in February, so everybody's prepping up for the Super Bowl. You don't really see anything about, never forget slavery or nothing like that, or never forget the strength of the survivors and the fight and things like that. Then like the next week you have another one, I think it's the Grammys in February. So again, we're not focused on Black history. But also too, in February, don't we have President's Day? And that is such a slap in the mother flipping face. How you gonna celebrate President's Day in February when a majority of them own slaves? Let's talk about Thomas Jefferson and how they keep romanticizing the rape of his enslaved woman, Sally Hemings, and how they cut off her descendants from receiving any inheritance or any land. And so that's one thing that really takes me off about February. And there's something else that happens in February that pisses me off. I want to say that ticks me off as well. So it's like, okay, we don't get celebrated for being Africans and what we have contributed to this country, And people like, oh, get over it or whatever. It's like, no, So I took it upon myself, and I know a lot of people that I'm friends with take it upon themselves to say, hey, we're just going to celebrate Black History 365. And me in particular, I tend to go super hard during the month of August and also December. December is a great month. You got me. But also, I love observing Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa is something I started observing my first holiday season on the island back in 2014. Because in that short amount of time, when my son had started school, I noticed within that first month of school, they had in the curriculum their own state holidays. So unlike us here in the continental U.S., they call that the mainland. We have, our federal holidays where schools are closed. Hawaii also has state days and statehood days and king and queen days where nothing goes on. Business is closed, official offices are closed, and they honor their king and their queen of Hawaii, what the plight of the Hawaiian people and the Polynesian Islands endured, and they remember that. They don't forget that. They take pride in their fight and honor the fallen. And I'm like, wow, that is so beautiful. And so that's where I'm like, okay, they take so much pride in this land here on this island. And when it comes to Kwanzaa, when I started observing Kwanzaa, we did something every day, something different every day. I remember my son and I, we hiked the Diamond Head crater. We hiked that and just really took in the beauty of the island. And being, a spiritual woman, spiritual people, we tend to empathize, with the plight of others, which is why we as Black people, we sympathize with others and we're quick to defend others and what they went through and stuff like that. So moving along, like I said, the instructor I had, he showed us a video at the start of his class, kind of like the introduction, because that was his class. So he brought his culture to that class. And that's one thing I try to do. Everywhere I go, I try to bring some culture, like something I learned when I drove across country. I was trying to find different things, that honored Black Americans and pay my respects. I still have some video that I have to upload about Brown versus the Board of Education when I drove through Kansas. But that haka dance, that's called the haka dance. So if you was to Google that or put that into YouTube, it's HAKA, and you will see the men. This was like a unifying war dance as they prepare to go to war, and this is the haka dance. So it's the men, showcasing their unity and their physique, and it's like a call and response. And in African culture, we have that as well. Unfortunately, here in the US, it's kind of been exploited through church, because I know how I feel about that already. But for them, it's a war cry. It's showing strength. And that caused me in turn to begin looking at different dances, different movements, different, African song and dance and dress that symbolizes, strength and warriorhood and unity. One person that I looked up in particular was Queen Nzinga, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, I believe it's Queen Nzinga. I think I have a book over here on her. And I studied her and, how she was just strategic and strong and definitely a warrior woman. And I try to embody that every day. And that gives me purpose. It's like, okay, this is someone within my culture that looks like me, that had the plight of my people, and I can identify with her. I don't have to, be something else to fit in or find a hero. I have one that's already here. As far as the history of the Hawaiian people, when I got there, I went to YouTube and I watched a special called "The Last Queen of the Last Queen of Hawaii," and it showed how Queen Lalukalani, her palace is still standing in Oahu. So I have some pictures on Facebook, but I'll put them on the community tab, because I was going to do a video, record it, and edit it, but it'll take me forever. You know me, I have a million and one things to do, so it's just best to go live, get the information out, and then follow up with it. So I'll put pictures in the community tab on this channel. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And what she had to go through to maintain her power and be strong for her people of Hawaii, that's just amazing. So walking around her palace, I did not go inside, but however, when my sister came to visit, it was me, my sister, and my son. We took some pictures around her palace. We read her story, and yeah, it was like, wow, and it just showed how, outsiders, the European colonizers, the pirates, came through there to break up that family and take possession and overthrow the queen. So yeah, I highly encourage you to watch that. I'll put that in the description once I get done with this video. And because the Hawaiian people would not allow you to disrespect the queen, you do not disrespect the king, or any of the grounds. It was sad to see the Hawaiian people, homeless around there, but they never, disrespected those sacred places, which leads me to, the respect they had for the land. Although this country, we were stolen and brought here, commingled with different, other nationalities and things like that. This is our land here. I know I said plenty of times, I didn't say this, but you know how people say, oh, I'm gonna leave this country, I'm gonna leave and go here, leave and go here. I was always like, look, this is home. I grew up in Cincinnati. I joined the military. You don't know how many times I cried during that 5 years, 2 months, and 18 days I was active duty. So blood, sweat, and tears, baby. This is home for me. So I try to take pride wherever I go and leave it better than I left it. I don't litter. I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't throw cigarette butts on the ground. Things like that. You want to take care of the land, especially when I was traveling this year across country, especially in particular the Southeast. I just felt an overwhelming, spiritual connection to the lands there. I cried, when I was getting ready to come back to Washington. I'm like, I don't want to go. Like, I really felt that connection. And I'm not ashamed, of the history of our ancestors had in the Southeast. A lot of my family still live there, both sides, all sides of the family still live over there. And it's something about that land. I want to, my goal is to own land and, just really take care of that area that our ancestors first encountered. We all still do not know the exact story of how our ancestors were stolen from Africa, and then once slavery was deemed, and international slavery was deemed illegal, how people were just recycled around that area. So you have roots and connections everywhere. That's why I did not go and take the 23andMe and stuff DNA test. I'm like, well, we were kidnapped, so why are you charging me to find out where home is? I did not agree with that. So go to some comments and say hi to people that are in here. I'm sorry that I'm on my phone, so the comments, they pop up and then they go away. You said Kareem is here. Hey Kareem, how are you, man? Kareem has been a teacher to me since 2004. Great brother. Go check out his music. You said Kwanzaa is a beautiful way to celebrate us as a people. Now, I had to battle some people on social media because they'll say, oh, well, you're not celebrating the European Christmas, but you're celebrating Kwanzaa. And the dude that founded Kwanzaa, he went to jail, or he was an agent or something like that. People would just find any reason for you to not observe anything that looks like you, that remotely, connects you to our past, of enslaved, okay, unfortunately, we were victims. Our ancestors were victims of a crime. That crime was bad, of bad crimes towards humanity. We can't be ashamed of it. We didn't do it. They were victims. So we mourn for our victims. We honor them. We celebrate them, and we be proud of them, of what they had to go through, so that, yes, we're not still on the plantation per se, but we can't let their stories die. That's why when that article came out yesterday about possibly having Julia Roberts play Harriet Tubman, you keep on throwing away your history and not being proud of it, and not another slave movie, then you won't get another slave movie. Harriet Tubman will be Julia Roberts, okay? Martin Luther King will be Marshall Mathers, okay? So own your stuff. Don't let nobody, cheat you out of your history. Yes, we also had empires and different cultural practices in Africa. But how you gonna say, well, let's talk about Africa, but you scared to practice anything African spirituality? Answer me that, okay? So that's the thing that got me mad. So Kwanzaa, yes, I want to observe it. There's principles. If it's anything that goes against the grain and it's not tradition of what people want to do to feel good, and I tend to laugh at people when they say, "Well, it's just for the kids." Well, let us feel good, let us enjoy it. I think about Players Club and the dude, what was his name? Not Big Dollar, but the other dude, do something to make me feel good. I think about that and I'm like, wow, that's these jokers. So I have a playlist on here. When I first celebrated Kwanzaa here in Washington, and then when my son was here with me last year, we have our entire playlist of Kwanzaa. So definitely check that out. I will be doing Kwanzaa again. I'll be here by myself, but we're still gonna do it. So I'll celebrate Kwanzaa with all y'all. Okay, so I'm so happy. Um, Thank you for the compliment, Pierre. I didn't want to celebrate Kwanzaa too. Yeah, let's do something. Let's organize. If you guys are friends with me on Facebook or anything like that, friend me over there, Instagram, and we will do a Kwanzaa celebration wherever we at, and we'll connect with each other. Okay, let's do that. I'm totally down for that. Okay, Kimberly, how are you? I still love your art. I have to frame it though. Will fight you in order to worship, anything European. Yes, pick up the book, The Black Anglo-Saxons. If you have a link, go ahead and put that in here too. Yes, if not, I'll put that in the description. You always got some good books. Like I said, I got to see your bookshelf. Me and my family celebrate Kwanzaa. I don't know any other way but to observe Kwanzaa. I got some Kwanzaa holiday cards. So yeah, inbox me or send me an email, info@tieeshaessex.com with your address if you want a Kwanzaa card. I got my Kwanzaa cards. I'm gonna go ahead and start searching those outside. I have postcards from the road trip. You want one, let me know. So yes, another thing with the Hawaiian people that I really appreciated was names. Us us black people, here in the US, we tend to run away from our names. My name is Tieesha Essex, so I'm black before I even show up, okay? And I ain't gonna run from that. But I would sit here and be a liar if I told you that at times I didn't feel ashamed of my name. I felt ashamed of my name. I wanted, a common name so that people would know I was black until I got there, and it goes twofold. So when I was over there, I met a woman, a Hawaiian woman, and her name was Tieesha. Taiisha. And I'm like, wow, I'm Tieesha. So it was like so close, but I'm like, okay. And it really made me proud of my name. That's why I named my channel Tieesha Essex. It's not an alias, like, I don't know how everybody else do it. I set, Ra Imhotep or something. I don't know. But that's just me. I'm proud. I'm proud of my name. I'm Tieesha. So over there, you have people whose name is like 36 letters long with 15 apostrophes, and you better pronounce it right, okay? And the name was what connected them to their family and their ties to the island. I thought that was beautiful. So in turn, my son, he picked out his African name, and the name that he picked out for himself was Bomani, and that translates to warrior. And I'm like, oh, I love it, So that's how names, really started connecting us and getting us back in tune with being proud to be black people and who we are here in America and who we are in this world. And in addition to names, there's a brother that I'm friends with on Instagram and Facebook. His name is Morris Nathaniel. I don't know. I'll link his Instagram in the description because his page is public, but he shares his story on how he is Samoan and black, and he did not deny his African blood. He did not deny, and a lot of Native Hawaiians are that way. Like they don't deny their African culture, and they also do not deny, their ties to the land, and also their Polynesian history as well. Like they hold on to whatever they have, but they did not distance themselves from being originally African. And I thought that was super beautiful. And also with the food, okay, like I was saying, we have a great influence here as Black people. Like I was so ignorant to this fact until this year when I went to South Carolina, and how, well, not really South Carolina, but Georgia as well. In Georgia, the Carolinas, many plantations over there were rice plantations. So in my mind, I always thought, okay, rice, I associated rice with Asia. Right here, from the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors, is where rice came from. Africa, right over here to the US. That is our connection. When you just look right across the water, there's the west coast of Africa, across the water, the east coast of the United States. So when you go and research, what our ancestors, harvested and things like that, it's like, wow, okay, what am I growing with my hands? And I know right now marijuana is legal, and people, that's the only thing that people don't know how to grow. I ain't roasting nobody, but I'm just saying we have the power in our hands, in our blood, to grow our own food. Like we don't have to get tomatoes imported from Mexico. We don't have to get, avocados or whatever imported from Ecuador. We can grow it right in our own backyards on the land that we have. So when I was over there, the backyard that we had in military housing, I grew everything I ate. When I got to the island, I said to myself, I am going to become a vegan. I did. And I grew everything outside. Like I grew my arugula, my spinach, I had bell peppers, tomatoes, corn. Everything was outside. If I wanted to eat it, I went outside and I got it and brought it back in and made something with it. And that was the best feeling in the world. Like, oh my gosh, I was so in shape. I think my skin was the clearest it's ever been. And just that pride, like, hey, instead of going to the store to buy pickles, I grew these cucumbers. I put some vinegar, some dill, and some other stuff, and I make my own pickles. And oh my gosh, you ever grow a fresh cucumber? You bring in the house, that joke about this big, you cut it, your whole house smells like you washed the walls in cucumber. It smells so good, better than anything you'll buy in the store. And that was important because the first time I went to a farmer's market, I believe was in Hawaii, where local farmers are growing their own things, and they just go and do business with each other. They're getting their food from each other. They can sustain each other because also a lot of stuff, everything is imported into Hawaii. So when you have things that are local, it's just better because it did not have to sit in a refrigerated trailer to come over on a boat or whatever. It's right there. So I learned about how to sustain myself. So yes, I absolutely. Well, I have a herb garden over there, and I have some wheatgrass on the counter. But whenever I get a patch of land, or if I'm still here in Washington in the summer, my balcony is going to be covered in everything that I'm going to eat. So I highly encourage you to start growing your own food, sprouting your own food, like really taking care of yourself, because diseases and illnesses that we have now, we did not have that back in the day. And that's because we've become so dependent on somebody else spoon feeding us. They can spoon feed you. They can also take that spoon away and starve you. So do you really want to give somebody else that much power over you, that much authority? Another one is the flag. Okay, we are Americans, yes. So we have the American flag, but that tells the story of European, plight and conquest into the Americas. So Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, he created a flag for us, the RBG flag. The red is for the blood that our ancestors shed. The black is for our black people, our black skin, and the green is for our land. And I noticed when others were putting up, Christmas decorations and stuff, what I did, I went to Walmart and I bought them little streamers, and we had these two pillars outside our front door, and I made them red, black, and green. I have a picture of me and my son standing right there, and I was just so proud because I'm like, yeah, we're going against the grain, but this feels so right. The more and more I dug and found and honored who I was as a Black woman, I had so much peace inside. My son smiled a little bit harder. He stood up a little bit stronger, taller, and held his chest out. And but the first time I ever saw a flag being flown upside down was in Hawaii. Now the Hawaiian people, even up here in Washington, you will see people with their cars decorated with Hawaii emblems, and they have that Hawaiian flag. They for the state of Hawaii, they do not let that Hawaiian flag be disrespected. And I believe how it goes, when the last queen of Hawaii, Queen Lalukalani, was dethroned, I think the U.S. Marine Corps or somebody, they cut up the Hawaiian flag out of disrespect. And so those who was sympathizing with the queen being overthrown and stuff like that, they took pieces of it. So I believe it's like pieces of that original flag are with different people. But I saw a pickup truck one day. I was at the beach, and I saw a pickup truck that was flying this huge Hawaiian flag, but it was upside down. And when I looked up the meaning about what it meant to fly a flag upside down, that's a people in distress. That's a distress signal. And I'm like, And it just made me, in my home, put up the RBG flag for us Black people, for us. Like, okay, we are people. We have our own culture. So I highly encourage you, to buy a flag that represents us Black people. Yes, we are here in America. We are Americans, but we're African Americans. We're Black Americans. Okay, we were here as a result of American slavery, but we're not an invisible people. We're not a dead people. We're not a people to be forgotten about. We are here, and be proud of it. Okay, because many things. Right now, I have a book that I was reading a while ago. It's called Africanisms in the United States. What is it? Africanisms. Hold on, 1 second. Let me go get this book so I can quote it correctly. 1 second. And I just dropped all my books. All right, here we go. Here's this book. It's called Africanisms in American Culture by Joseph Holloway. This book. And it just shows you the influence that we had through music, education, everything. And go off on a tangent real quick. Someone let me know if you heard this as well. Mansa Musa, historical figure right there. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give out some free art to the children in my community. That is beautiful. They're going to be so happy to have that. My daughter I'm pronouncing this right, Aza or Azah. Azah, is that how I'm pronouncing it right? The African name is very powerful. Yes, in our names, okay? Our names are very powerful. My son, he picked out Bomani, and his name that we gave him, is Christopher. Another time I was a Christian, I was in the church, but because he was born on, All Saints Day, and because he was my first child, his name, when you break it down, how I break it down, okay, Christ of her, he's, kind of my savior, he gave my life meaning. One of the most important jobs as a woman is to be a mother, and that's my first son, my Christ. So he's Christopher. So that's his name. You said My grandmother grew everything as well. Yes, we got to get back to that. But look at us. We are grandma, okay? You know, I'm not a grandma yet, but we are in that position. So we have to start working on that now so that we can pass down these traits and these skills to our children so that they can sustain themselves. I was looking at a meme today on Facebook, and they were like, I don't know why y'all excited about Thanksgiving. This generation of grandmothers mothers only 29 years old. They don't know how to cook yet. Oh, that just made my day. I was laughing my butt off. Cause man, I have really detached from eating fast food. Like I cook everything here. I don't want anybody touching my food because when I'm going for tangent because we're talking about food. But and why it's so important for us to cook our traditional meals, find cultural meals, cook healthier meals, feed our families, feed ourselves, because you can either live or die by what you put in your mouth. But when you look at something like, let's say you go to Wendy's and the hamburger is, well, do this, a small chili was like $1. Well, that's my I ate there. And when you look at what it takes to make this little chili cost $1, well, first off, now the size of it's got really small from what I remember. But when I look at that chili, the hamburger in that chili is all the hamburgers from the day prior that didn't sell. They just chopped them bad boys up and put it in the chili. And I'm like, okay, majority of it's water. So you already know that little hamburger you get is full of fillers and glue and everything unhealthy. So we go ahead and put it in this chili. And that's all the hamburgers that didn't sell. So it was going to go in the garbage, but we can repurpose it and make chili out of it. For that thing to cost $1, okay, you got to take out the overhead. Okay, so what it took to heat up this pot of chili all day. Take out what it costs to pay the employee to serve it up. Pay for the electric, the building, the taxes, insurance, whatever else, the container it comes in. You're eating something that has a monetary value of probably half a penny and absolutely zero nutritional value. That's why when you go and eat a diet of a lot of fast food, you're not getting healthier because it has absolutely no nutritional value. I absolutely hate eating at places where they want to serve you buffet style because that food costs absolutely nothing. I laugh when people get out of church and go straight to Golden Corral. You know, I used to do that. But as you see, the sickest people are in church. But yeah, now when it comes to restaurants, I'm just absolutely turned off. That's why I have my cooking videos on here where I just cook stuff at home, and I just hope to encourage other people to do the same thing because the quality is a lot better. You get more for your buck and things like that. You said sound like a Tony Baker video over there. Well, with the music in the background, can you hear it? Is it loud? Because I can turn it off because they'll give me a copyright strike. I think my copyright strike just expired last month. Buttheads. After you go off live, can you place the book titles? I sure will, and I'll take pictures too, and I'll put them on the community tab. I agree with the flag idea. Italians still fly. Italian Americans still fly their flags. Yeah, because you remember when Tariq Nasheed went to the Mayweather fight, and what was it, the Conan McGregor fight or something like that? I'm not sure. But those who are like, yeah, I'm a proud American patriot, they were flying Italian flags. Tariq was there with his American flag. And if that didn't click in your head, like, wow, okay, come St. Patrick's Day, you will have mugs named, oh my gosh, Tieesha McBryant, but because she has the last name of McBryant, she's Italian and she's blacker than me and drinking green beer and "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" shirt. You know, I love when those memes from Captain Phillips come out. Look at me, I'm Italian now, or no, that's Irish. Look at me, I'm Irish now, Irish. But yeah, we have our own culture. We have some things to be proud of, our contributions and the unique experience that we bring to every environment that we're in. I wouldn't trade that again, or how I was, and not in my right African mind back in the day. I wouldn't regress to that for nothing. Yes, it's called chili meat when it dry up on the grill, yup. And my homeboy, when I was a teenager, he worked at Rallies. He's the one that told me, like, yo, when you get that chili dog at Rallies, or that chili, it's just old hamburgers. And I'm like, ugh, I ain't eating that crap no more. Don't eat Popeye's chicken sandwich. Nope, I made my own. You told me about how that bad aftertaste. Oh yeah. So, but you know what? There was a meme I saw. I'm gonna go off on a tangent, talk about all these memes. But when you look at the lines of people outside of Popeyes, those are gonna be all the people in line trying to get into heaven. So I'm like, I'm so glad that I don't subscribe to that. I won't be in line or nothing. But when you look at it, it's like, okay, zombies. I was talking about the books falling. Yeah, I'll take a picture of them. Yeah, the whole bunch of books falling. One book I see right now is that's real quick. These two books. Well, I got three. These three books right now. So let me know. I have so many books, and I'm just a nerd. I be up in here reading with nobody to talk to. Let me know if you want to do like a book club, a reading club, or something. We can do that. This one right here is Black Economic Solutions for Economic and Cultural Empowerment by the beloved Dr. Juwanza Kunjufu. This is a great one. So I'll put that in the comments as well. This one here, I got this at the Nat Turner Library. Go down to my video I just did about Nat Turner and contact Elder Khalifa to get this book. But this is a good one. Money Issues in Black Male-Female Relationships. I have not read this book, but I'm about to, get into it, okay? So these are the things that I have on my bookshelf. I just have nobody to read books with. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. I don't eat fast food or meat. I'm trying to cut out the meat. I bought this big old bag of chicken at Costco, and I'm trying to be frugal and not waste money. And if I throw it away and do like a drastic change like that, I'll regret it and regress. So I'm slowly weaning myself off of stuff. Like I said, I don't crave fast food. When I drive past a fast food restaurant, I don't even get hungry. I'm like, ew, I'm gone. I'm not eating that. So now I'm at home eating, so I control my flavors. So as I run out of something, I'm just not going to buy it again. And then lastly, this book here, I have not hit this book yet. I was waiting until my birthday to start reading this book. But this is The Healing Wisdom of Africa. I can't wait to get into this book. And this is by Malidoma Patrice Somé. Yes, so I'll put this in the comments as well. Y'all know I am a bookworm. Moving right along, since we're on the topic of books. So, wherever I go, I look for some kind of African American cultural center or African American history museum. Go back in my videos to this time last year when I went to Seattle's Northwest African American History Museum. They were having a celebration of the 50th anniversary for the Black Panther Party of Self-Defense chapter here in Seattle. I went to that last year and I fell in love. I'm actually due to go back over there. I missed that place because right outside they have a park that is dedicated to Jimi Hendrix. Super cool. But leading back to Hawaii, so I kept Googling because majority of Black people who were in Oahu, Honolulu, Waikiki, all that area were there because of the military. We had, the Navy right there at Pearl Harbor, as well as the Air Force at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam. You have the Army up at Schofield, and you have the Marines in K-Bay. So I'm on Facebook looking for different events around Kwanzaa, around Martin Luther King Day. There was a Martin Luther King Day parade there as well. And I came across this organization or this office, this business, and it was the African American Cultural Center. And I'm like, okay, where's this at? I'm like, I need to go there. So my son and I I think I kept him home from school that day because I called the woman that answered the phone. I didn't know that she was the founder and the owner. I'm like, hey, I have my son. Can we come and check out the museum? Do we have to pay? What's going on? So pretty much it was the second floor of this bank building, and the woman that was holding it down, she was the owner, and she's an amazing artist. She has been running that the whole time that she's been living on the island. So she wrote this book, and of course I bought two copies. My son had to get one, and I bought the other copy, and I will put her phone number because I believe she just sells this directly. But it is African Americans in Hawaii, where she tells the stories of the African American footprint in Hawaii. And that was so important to me because I'm like, wow, we've been here. We were here. And because I was so ignorant to that, is because our school system does not teach us about our footprint. I only knew, well, I remember watching the movie Pearl Harbor back in the day, but I don't remember it. But because I lived in military housing, the one that was next to me was called Doris Miller Housing. So one day, me and my son were just walking around, and we see this like bronze statue of, it looked like a black man. We go up and look at it. It was for Doris Miller, honoring him and the part that he played in Pearl Harbor. And I'm like, wow, I did not know this. And that in turn caused me to look back, of what black people endured in the Navy. Back in the day, they couldn't be anything but a cook, and that's why they called them cookies. And I'm like, wow. So when I started researching stuff, I found out about the USS Kitty Hawk, and everything just kept just, uncovering itself. Well, it was I believe it was the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha, and I think the AKA, some other sororities that actually got the money together to honor him with that statue and that plaque. And I'm like, wow, this is really neat. So this book here, African Americans in Hawaii, and it's by D. Melinta Gutman. And I'll look up her contact number, but it's the African American Cultural Center in Honolulu. It should be a phone number there where you can get in touch with her. And I volunteered with her because once I found out what she was doing, I'm like, well, I'm all for it. So I volunteered with her at the public schools for a couple of weeks, and that was really good. But this book, as I was saying, how the women would put up a flower in their hair. I just flipped it open. Here's a sister with her afro, and her flower in her hair, just looking sharp. And other things that are in here, it talks about the service members, and just amazing. Our story over there, I talked to you about the wars, like the freedom to journey, African Americans, and World War II. And you see all these brothers here on the cover looking all sharp. This was their footprint in the military in Hawaii. And one thing that I noticed was, like, the majority of us who traveled, who had the opportunity to travel outside of our neighborhoods and community, it was because of our service in the military. So when we come back and bring this information back to our family, or if they come over and visit with us and stuff like that, it's just amazing to see that, yes, we're everywhere. The only thing I regret when I lived in Hawaii is that I didn't get a chance to go to Australia and see the Aborigines and see the story. But we're all over the place, and that just made me proud. It made me proud to be a black woman. Like, no, I'm just not this person that just popped up in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have family all over the place. When you learn about, Canada, how a lot of of the enslaved victims, they escaped the plantation and found refuge. As they were talking about North, follow the Northern Star, the drinking gore, people think, oh, we talking about just going to see Jesus and going to God. No, they're talking about North, getting up there to Canada, getting away from slave catchers to plantation and all that damn torment that was happening. So, What I did too was do field trips around Hawaii, like to go and actually learn about these hidden gems. I took my son, went and explored, and then I started going to the places alone after he went back with his dad, and just keep learning, continue to learn. And one thing I missed on the island was a good road trip. So that's why I chose this year to drive across country and do that road trip, because I missed a good road trip. On the island, you just drive in a circle. But I wanted to drive across country and see where we were, see us, see the country. All I remember is being in school and you have a placemat of North America, and you'll see all the states. But I actually got to drive through it and see it. And, like I said, I have postcards. So let me know if you want a postcard. Email me info@tieeshaessex.com, and I will send you a postcard. Or let me know if you want a Kwanzaa card. Get your Kwanzaa card. But I highly encourage you to travel. There are a lot of historic places around you where we've been, where our story is. And there's someone there who's willing to share that story with you. I was so honored to finally get a chance to go to St. Helena's Island in South Carolina. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to go to Gullah Island, and I got a chance to go there and just see more people, and just that spiritual connection, that kindred spirit just links us all together. And that's one thing it does. It gives us a sense of family. On the island in Hawaii, even if someone didn't know each other, but they saw that they were of Hawaiian descent, they would call them uncle or, auntie or cousin. They address each other like that. And that's one thing I told myself, like, I would not address, anybody disrespectfully, especially if they look like me. Like, this could be my grandmother. This is potentially my brother. This is potentially my sister. These are my children. Yes, I birthed one, but if there's a child in my proximity, these are my children. So having that respect and love for what you see in the mirror will translate to loving your people, loving your land. This is our land. Our ancestors, cultivated, built this land. So think twice before you, throw something on the ground, or if you flick that cigarette butt out the window, or you pee on the side of that building. Don't do that. Leave your space the way you leave your space better than how you found it. This is our land. Buy something. Buy some land. We have a lot of veterans among us. Put that GI Bill to use, okay? Because back in the day, Black veterans were, illegally, not able to use their GI Bill, not able to get access to loans. Use that, buy you a home, keep that home in your family, teach your children how to appreciate stuff, so that when you pass down a home to them, they don't let the gentrifiers come and take it, or they don't let it go into foreclosure because they're smoking crack. Yeah, there's a lot of drug use in the music that we listen to. So definitely try to encourage yourself and those around you to change what they feed into themselves. I have a video idea that I want to do. I want to listen to a couple of different radio stations and analyze what I hear in 1 hour, and decipher the message behind them all and how that programs us to think differently. What we see on TV, when you see people, I don't want to judge people, but, I don't know. As Black people who have been stripped of a culture and a sense of belonging to anything, and a sense of unity and connection to each other, we're not able to, have our traditional ways. So we instead make up ways. We are innovators. We start new trends. Every trend you see, we started it, But one thing I noticed with the tribal tattoos of the Hawaiian people, they tell a story, and they also, can identify, which family you come from. It has a meaning behind it. So I would highly encourage us to, not get senseless tattoos and body markings, just ensure that they have a purpose. And if you want to be a innovator and start something cool that has meaning, share it. And if it's positive and it catches on, that's something that we can adapt into our culture. Or if you go and research something and you want to introduce that to us now, go ahead and do that so that we have a purpose and something that links us together. So yeah, I'm wearing this shirt here. This is my one of my favorite shirts. It's like all stretched out, but it's from a company in Cincinnati called Black Owned. And I bought this shirt. Me and my sister, we had walked over there one time when I visited Cincinnati from Hawaii, and I was so proud to wear back on the island, representing Cincinnati, but also I'm Black owned. Businesses. Hawaiians will support each other's businesses. They'll have a food truck. Let me talk about the food, okay? When I got over there, coming up, I thought that Spam was for poor people because we was poor, and you get a couple of cans of Spam, you make it do what it do. Some Spam and some crackers. You fry it up with some eggs. That's good eating. However, I was so poor. We had that can that was USDA pork, that silver can with the black letters. It had that pig on it. That's how poor we were. But let me tell you, if you want to if you know a Hawaiian in your life and you want to give them a gift, give them some Spam. Man, they will be your best friend for 2 lifetimes, okay? Spam is currency. So yeah, over there they will have these things called musubis. I think it's called musubis. It'll be like a slice of Spam, some rice, and it's wrapped in a layer of seaweed. Man, people tore them things up. You have a food truck and you got a whole bunch of them right there in plastic already prepared. People grab that joker. They're going about their business. That's good eating. One thing about Hawaii, like at the McDonald's, certain McDonald's actually serve Spam and rice. Like I'm like, So as a people, so much influence that this franchise had to put their food on the menu. And that's one thing I want to encourage us to do is, try to include more cultural meals in our diet. Yes, like a lot of stuff that we still eat today are ancestors ate it, but some of the stuff that is unhealthy, they didn't have a choice because our ancestors were starved. Okay, you don't feed the help the best food. Okay. And I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say the help, but you don't want to feed the slaves the best, because what's going to happen? They'll get strong, they'll start thinking right, and they're going to tear this whole plantation up. So they were fed the worst of the worst. Like, they weren't even fed they were fed what the pig ate, but they were also fed the pig and the worst parts of the pig at that. So they didn't have a choice. It was all about survival. That's why I never hope to go. I just go, as when I was a police officer, I dropped people off there, but I never want to go to jail because I was told in jail they eat pimp steaks, and a pimp steak is a piece of bologna. I don't want a pimp steak, okay? So we now have a choice. Either you can continue to feed yourself like a slave, eat the worst of the worst, stay sick, not get stronger, and just be no use to yourself or your family or your culture, or you can start taking control of what you put in your body. And I'm not gonna bang on you because you observe the upcoming holidays, but I want you to stop and ask yourself why. Why are you doing it? Why are you celebrating somebody else's conquest and destruction of another people? Because it happened to your people. And we're still dealing with the ramifications, the post-traumatic slave syndrome of it. Okay? So, feed yourself the best. Okay? If you're going to eat the hog, make sure you done bred the hog and you know what's in the hog. I know there was I heard people talking about a particular pig that they only feed like a citrus or something, so that when they eat the pig it tastes just like it. So He said, "Nice video, thank you. I would join your book club. Let's get it together. Let's get it together." Um, and we can buy our books from the Nat Turner Library. That right there is cooperative economics, part of Kwanzaa. There we go. They roll deep on any base. They come together, be family cookouts almost every week here in Dayton. A group comes to the gym on Saturdays, 20 deep, to play basketball. Yes, that's one thing with me, where I live at up here. I don't see too many people that look like me. Yes, we exist. Yes, we're here. And when I see someone, I make sure I speak to them. I'm like, hey, brother. Hey, sister. Hey, queen mother. How you doing? I speak to them because that's family, In Hawaii, yes, I saw others that look like me. But when it came to, that connection that I had, it was like they didn't want anything to do with me. And let me go back to the names for a hot second, because not many people talk about this, but I'll go ahead and I'll put it out there on this video since we on the topic of Hawaii. I really wouldn't want to go back and live in Hawaii. I wouldn't, because as a Black woman being there, yes, I was, the outlander, so to say. I was there as a military spouse. So before I started my own business, I was job searching, and I wasn't able to find the job that I wanted because I did not have the right name. And then when my address, you have to put your address down wherever you apply to something. So for there, it was a wait to get a P.O. box. So I'm like, okay, if they're going to discriminate because of where I live in military housing, I'll get a P.O. box. There was a wait list for a P.O. box on the island. But I really, I won't say I have concrete evidence, but I have a hunch that because my name wasn't like, Fukumoto or something like that, I was denied a lot of jobs. And reason being, because, yeah, I'm a Black woman there. 9 times out of 10, no, I was not born there. And no, I'm not living there forever. So I was discriminated against by being a military spouse. So when I applied for jobs in the field of law enforcement and psychology, it was real. Either I wouldn't get it, or the job I just applied for just for, the hell of it, I would get it. But I'm like, this job is trash, So yeah, at the time, I'm like, okay, I don't have the right name. I think my name should have been like Tai Ming Fukumoto or something like that. But then when I showed up, I actually had to be Tai Ming Fukumoto because they took care of each other first. And on Hawaii, yes, that is Hawaii. You have the native Hawaiians, but you also have a lot of Japanese and Asian influence there. They look out for themselves first, So in a way, I could be Saudi. Yes, it was illegal. I could be Saudi, but when others want to shame me about being proud for being a Black woman and celebrating my culture, I'm not going to let that happen because everyone else does it. But when we do it, it makes people shake in their pants or want to put labels on us. It's not right at all. So I want to encourage you in this video to be unapologetically Black, be unapologetically celebrating our African American influence and impact and history and culture, not only here in this country or your individual state or your community, but worldwide, okay? As it said, America is not a melting pot. It's now a salad. There's tomatoes, you got lettuce, you got some croutons, you got some onions, you got some vinaigrette up in there. You got everything, okay? You got some olives. You want to put some grilled chicken in it, some bacon, whatever you want to do. It's a salad. So we can't make that piece of bacon become a piece of lettuce, okay? So everybody is uniquely them and what they bring to the table. So trying to see if there's anything else on here. One thing I want to touch on real quick. I noticed in Hawaii that elders did not just get kicked out to a nursing home and things like that. Yes, nursing homes existed, but within a family, the elders lived with the family. So with us being Black people, we're quick to, they get sick, they ill, they go to the nursing home, or they go to hospice, or they go somewhere else. No one wants to take care of that elder. And I can understand because at times that elder did not leave any wealth or anything of value or anything for their children to, celebrate and be dependent on them for. I'm not saying that's an excuse to abuse elders. Don't do that. But what that caused me to think about, me being Tieesha, my birthday is right around the corner. I have one son. I let him know every day I love him. He's great, and I do things that I don't want to do so that I can provide for him, and so that he does not have to go through some things that I went through as well. His father is doing the same thing. His bonus mom, all of us who are attached and love him, we invest in him so that he doesn't have the struggles that we had coming up. But I look at myself and I'm like, okay, I have not had one bad day where I regretted being a mother. I've loved every single day, every single moment, and I'm going to love every single day. And I hope to go before him. And my last day, I would still love being a mother. I'm making myself right now and forever someone that he wants to be bothered with. I don't want to get into his relationships or meddle in his life, but I want to be a positive parent and a positive elder to him, his future wife, children, so that when I become an elder, I can still be taken care of with them. I don't have strangers, taking care of me, or the nursing home forgotten about. I want to be in the household with my family. I don't want my grandchildren to go to daycare so that their parents can work. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to be active in their life. I will still have purpose. So I encourage us right now to really be great parents, to, really teach and put things of value in our children, build things of value for our children. Don't kick them out at 18, help them, you know, buy stuff out cash, save their money, and, get things in their name and establish our own economic system, our resources to pass down, so that we're not just dying and leaving them with an apartment that they got to clean a whole bunch of dusty furniture and old shit out of. Okay, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and let's unify. So even if you do observe the holidays, make these connections, make these bonds, and improve each other while you sit at that table, while you got everybody in one room. Establish standards, hold each other to a higher standard. And even if you don't observe the holidays, you got to be, social. I got a video, how to survive the holidays if you're vegan, atheist, and some other stuff. Okay, that was one of my favorite videos. That's up on my channel too. I'll start sharing that a lot more. But yeah, like I said, I just have a newfound pride, and that started when I got to the Hawaiian Islands, and being in the presence of this instructor that I just had, it just instilled, like, hey, it caused me to look back to Sankofa and see how far I come, make some new plans on where I want to go in the future, and just really be unapologetically me. I'm Tieesha Essex. I was born black. I was born a black woman. I'm gonna be that for the rest of my life. I'm gonna love it, embrace it, bring something positive to each environment that I'm in, and help this become contagious to everybody else that I am around. Okay, so take a look at the comments. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I didn't mean to be on here for a long time. It's over an hour, and I know y'all gotta go to bed, go to work tomorrow. Love what you were saying. You're absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Hi from New Jersey. Latifa, how are you? I saw your comments. So glad to catch you live. Talk black to me. Oh, yeah, buddy. Talk black to you. Talk these guns to you. Seems like others are intimidated when we celebrate us. And that's why we just have to be unapologetic. I have no problem. I was asked by somebody last year, like, hey, something about Christmas. I'm like, well, happy holidays to you. I observe Kwanzaa, so I don't observe Christmas, but I'm not going to rain on your parade for doing that. You do you live it up. I'm over here, put some respect on my Kwanzaa, okay? And I was really happy to be able to have that experience with my son and share that with him, and we're able to document it, because my song was it Walk It Like I Talk It. I don't want to be on here saying one thing and then I live totally different in real life. Like, no, this is my real life, okay? I showed y'all how I cut off all my hair, talking about birth control, all that good stuff, okay? Have you watched, oh my gosh, Joe, Dr. Barashango? I have both his books. I have one other book over here, The Black Woman, The Original Guardian Angel. I was actually saving Dr. Barashango for next Thursday. So yes, I'll be here next Thursday talking about the greatness of Dr. Barashango. And if y'all have not heard of him, we're going to put that book in the comments too. If you're friends with me on Facebook, just put down Tieesha Barashango and my post will come up and you can click the links for his books. Oh my gosh. I actually listened to his YouTube lectures. Dr. Ishaka Musa Barashango. I listened to his lectures as I was driving across country as well. Oh my gosh, that man, I wish like he was my grandfather, but he's actually everybody's grandfather, but he left his work here for us to study European holidays and African people in European holidays. Y'all need to go and get those books, volume 1 and volume 2. They're on Amazon. You need to get those. I would tell you, if my home was on fire, I'm grabbing my guns, my son's baby book, my important documents, and my Barashango books, and my ISIS papers. I'm gonna grab all that stuff and get the hell up out of here. But yes, I love the hell out of that, okay? Love him. And I will be talking about him next Thursday, okay? Peace to you. Kyle, how are you? I haven't seen you in a minute, Kyle. That's how my family do. I took care of my grandmother until her death. I would not let her go into a nursing home. And there are some horrible nursing homes and there are some good nursing homes. And, I won't crap on all of them. My grandmother is currently in a nursing home because her health, it did a rapid decline back in 2017, just out of nowhere. And I beat myself up a lot because, I left my hometown when I joined the military and I haven't went back. But my sister is there. She is taking care of my grandmother. My grandmother, wouldn't be where she's at right now if it wasn't for my sister. So Shauna, I salute you. I love you. And I appreciate everything that you do. And that's just positive vibes that she's setting, that my niece and my son get to see. This is how we treat our elders. So, I totally honor her, and I just hope that my grands will do that for me as well. Peace, you always black. Stay blessed, and thank you for being so amazing. Take care. And so I love y'all so much. I'm so happy to get this video out, and I just want you to just be uniquely you. I had a lot of stress. I had a lot of sadness, a lot of confusion in life when I was running from who I was, when I was wearing a weave, straightening my hair, and wanted to be everything but a black woman. I'm married to Jesus, Shout out Mrs. Savannah Black for the Burn Jesus Challenge. Free my mind and the rest shall follow, okay? But once I just started being uniquely me and honoring what I uniquely brought to the table as me, Tieesha, that's when life started making sense. I can be in a really tough environment, and I've been up here in Washington. This is a really tough environment, but I've gotten through a lot of tough times because when I'm in that environment, I'm Tieesha. And when I'm out of that environment, I'm extra Tieesha, okay? So I know who I am. I'm not begging for acceptance. I accept me, I love me, and I know that my vibe will attract the right tribe. And that's why everything I do is public, because I have nothing to hide. I'm transparent. I have nothing to hide. I might tell a lot of my business, but I ain't got nothing to tell either, okay? But it's right there what you get. So appreciate me. I'll appreciate you. I'll respect you. But you're going to respect who I am, my culture, what's behind me, and what's in front of me. Like I've been doing the same with everybody else. We learned about Columbus Day and all kinds of other stuff, in school. My re-education of my miseducated self has been phenomenal. I wish I knew all this stuff sooner. But, we are in a position to teach our children and do better. So, yeah, let's continue being unapologetically Black Americans, African Americans, and just melanated people worldwide. So when you see someone else that looks like you, greet them, love the land, love your environment. Most importantly, love yourself, and that starts what you say to yourself, you put into your body, you put on your body, and just do you, be you, connect with others that respect you and give them their respect back. I'm not gonna keep on yapping. I think it's about what, almost 7 o'clock here. I'm over here on the West Coast, so I hope y'all have a great night. To those who watched the rebroadcast of this, I thank you for watching. Click the link in the descriptions. I'll be up for a little bit to put the links for those books in here, and I'll also put pictures of them in the community tab. Okay, y'all have a great night. I love you so much, and just know that you have a sister that's here with you, and I'm so grateful, and I'm glad to have all of my family here on YouTube. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Make sure you check out my video from last night where I reviewed the thick skin fashionable ballistic vest. Put your money Black owned, okay? Because I'm not ashamed to say Black owned, support Black owned businesses, Black owned products, because one, even here in the continental US, you will see small communities where there will be a certain group, and they'll have all their businesses right there that they would need, and they will support that business. You will see a Asian grocery store, a tax person, a beauty shop, a furniture store. You'll see all that. They continue to keep their money in their community. You'll see other ones. I heard in Missouri, they have a whole Somali strip mall where they keep all their business with them, okay? It's time for us to begin investing and owning and doing business in our communities. We have a lot of people who are business minded. The brother last night, Mike Tyree, who created thick skin Kevlar vests that are also fashionable. We have business-minded people in our community, okay? It's time for us to start keeping our money in our communities and uplifting ourselves, okay? That's all I got to say about that. I hope you like, subscribe, and share. Join me on my other social media platforms. Check out my website, TieeshaEssex.com, and I will see y'all on the next video. Harambe.